My man Hirokoshi, you know how to make a manga. Oh my goodness. These chapters have been fire. This chapter specifically was fire. And let's just, you know what? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to Otaku Chris is Talking. This is your weekly Boku no Hero Academia manga review. This is for chapter 128. And this chapter focuses on the conclusion of Izuku versus Sir Night Owl and how he was going to actually get out of the situation or basically win the situation, considering Sir's quirk is so fucking hacks. And I didn't really realize how hacks it was until Sir actually said to Izuku, "You're slow." I wrote a couple notes right here. Let me just put my notes right here on my usual back of letters because I'm fucking weird like that. Alright, so these are a couple of quotes which I had to just write down because I thought they were fucking legendary. First of all, it's as if you're a gimpy Gran Torino. This is something that I think we've all kind of put to the back of our minds. The way that Izuku bounces around is very reminiscent of Gran Torino, and during that training there, that's exactly how Gran Torino was bouncing around. Now that's not a bad thing because obviously before, most of Izuku's movements and the way he was thinking was very All Might orientated, very All Might influenced, and this is something that Izuku wanted to kind of change throughout the series. And as the chapters have gone on, Izuku slowly got more of his own personality. So from instead of using his punches, he uses his kicks, but he can also use his punches. So he has a bit of both, which is very different to All Might. Not that All Might didn't do any kicks. Well, he didn't do any kicks. We never saw or witnessed him do any kicks. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did have to do kicks or if something was, if there was any issues, whatever. But then he would do kicks. But yeah, so I feel like it was just kind of nice to hear Sir Night Owl actually say that, because this is something that I feel maybe some people have been thinking it, but maybe they wouldn't have brought up, or maybe they would have just left it to the side. So yeah, so Izuku's movements are very Gran Torino-esque, and I thought that when he'd be bouncing around, he would be a lot faster. So when I saw Sir Night Owl actually say, "Oh, you're too slow," what is it? Yeah, you're slow. I was like, wow. And I don't know whether he means that because of his quirk or whether he means that because he's slow. But as the chapter went on, we found out that Izuku was actually avoiding the All Might memorabilia and so let's slow down a bit. Let us slow down a bit. So Izuku realizes that he has no fucking chance at all, and Sir is basically making Izuku feel like shit, basically telling him, "Why are you even here? Like, your movements are crap. Like Mirio, like he should have been the one to get it. I don't even know what All Might saw in you." Obviously, this is not exactly word for word what he said, but this is kind of basically paraphrasing, saying kind of a gist of the conversation between the two whilst Izuku was bouncing the fuck around. And what is nuts is Sir was really provoking Izuku to the point of where you can see Izuku get extremely stressed. And I almost kind of felt sorry for him because it's kind of like, oh shit, like we thought that, no, we knew it would be hard because once we saw Sir's design and stuff, we thought, yeah, this is gonna be quite hard. But as we read the chapter, I'm presuming, so what is this, like 3 minutes in for me to say spoiler alert? Spoiler alert. So fucking hopefully you've read the chapters, obviously. But so what I thought was pretty cool was the fact that Izuku did lose, obviously. Like, there was no chance Izuku was going to win. Even if Izuku had the speed, just how Sir's way of thinking is and his level of experience in the game would put him over Izuku regardless. We've seen that we don't need to be someone who has the quirk of speed or strength to be able to match up with Izuku. Providing that you have that level of experience, you can probably find a way to match up with the speed and whatnot. So Sir Night Owl's his what fucking was it called again? His quirk, brain fart right there. So Sir Night's quirk literally allows him to see not only just the moment, but it seems he can see like seconds and minutes and even just a bit further ahead. And what he actually said actually came through. He told Izuku at the end of this, you will be on the floor on your knees with your form stampless. And I was like, oh shit, that is pretty soul crushing. But that did happen. But it doesn't mean that like it depends on the context of how it happened. Once the 3 minutes were up, Izuku was just there on the floor feeling like shit, exactly how Sir told him he'd feel. But Izuku did, at one point at the very end, actually try to mess up his room, throw around his papers and stuff, and he even turned to, he was like, you told me that if the conditions were met, that you'd be able to see through me. What if the conditions aren't met? So he thought, you know what, maybe the conditions mean that yes, if I'm bouncing around, I have a way of movement, but if I throw things in your way, you won't really know where things are because they're random, and maybe your quirk won't work towards random objects, because obviously if it's random, it's random. You don't know where things are coming from, especially if you're trying to fucking stop your paperwork and stuff being fucking flipped around and whatnot, whilst also trying to hold your stamp away from Izuku, and whilst the person who you're trying to fucking defend the stamp from is literally, it has All Might's quirk. Not the best of All Might's quirk, but like a portion of it, and a portion of All Might's quirk is fucking strong enough in itself. So like that happened, and I was like, oh shit, Izuku actually, he might have outsmarted him. Like, what's gonna happen here? He didn't. So it's interesting to see where and how far Sir's quirk really goes, and how much he can see. Is it like at the moment, or is it literally like a certain amount of time? And what are the conditions that he's talking about? What do you think the conditions are? Do you think it's like one of those Hunter x Hunter things where there's like, you got to match this and match that and match this? Do you think it's like Crollo, where like if the conditions are met, then he's just overly OP, and no matter how fast he is, he can stop you? So like, this is really random, but if he was going against the Flash, who's meant to be the fastest person in like the DC universe, if the conditions were met and the Flash met the conditions, does that mean that no matter how fast the Flash is going, Sir could practically find a way to put something in front of Izuku, in front of Flash, to make him trip over? I know it's really weird saying Flash, but I just want to think of someone who's extremely fast. We know All Might is extremely fast, but I feel like the speed of All Might is I don't know. You know what? Fuck it, I should have just said All Might. So yeah, so that was that. So obviously that happened, and Izuku ended up basically messing up the room, but leaving the All Might memorabilia alone, which something that Sir kind of realized. But when Sir realized that, it was kind of like, oh shit, he messed up the room but left the memorabilia alone. So does that mean that he was holding back his speed even whilst he was being provoked? He was bouncing around trying to avoid the memorabilia whilst also trying to grab the fucking stamp, like whilst also being like extremely thought provoked. This shows that like, even though he's at the beginning, he has a high level of potential, because say in the future when he's fighting against some villains and whatnot, and they're going through some extreme battles, and then he needs to avoid not memorabilia, but in another circumstance, the memorabilia could be the civilians. Now, if you're extremely powerful, you'll need to find a way to avoid certain people being injured whilst also attacking. You need to be able to defend or protect. So I feel like this is something that we can kind of, some slight foreshadowing of how Izuku thinks and how he could be in the future. And I feel like Sir saw that, and it may seem like if it was about the whole All Might memorabilia, but I personally think it's because it shows Izuku's level of, well, Izuku's future potential of becoming a hero. Izuku also throws out a few things whilst he's getting pissed off. He says, All Might told me that I could be the #1 hero. I am All Might's disciple. And whilst he was saying these, I thought to myself, whoa, Izuku, like, this is you're really showing your emotions right there, Izuku. You wanna come down a little bit? You're right there. But that being said, even though Izuku is like this, I also feel like this is character development for Izuku, because at the beginning, when people would make fun of Izuku, when Bakugo would literally shit all over Izuku would basically just be twiddling his thumbs like, oh, maybe you're right. Izuku wouldn't really ever try his hardest just in case he would fail. In this circumstance, him failing was not an option. Even though he did, I like that he gave his all. One thing that I do think that he does need to work on, and something that Sir said to him, is his facial expressions and how he feels. His needs to kind of change a bit in the future, because his facial expressions show a lot, and you can see that he was stressed. And yes, he was doing good by protecting and defending fucking the memorabilia, but you could see that what was happening was really affecting him, and this is the kind of stuff that could affect him in the future if he's battling somebody and basically the villains end up saying a few things to him, or really trying to dig at him personally. that could really mess up your thoughts. Now, we've seen that it didn't mess him up too much, but it did show that like he was getting stressed. And if people are watching, civilians are watching, they see that Izuku's been affected, that level of stress could be bounced off and can be contagious. So that's something that he does need to work on. So I feel like Sir's way of doing things is extremely just extremely random, and it doesn't seem like he's being nice. He seems like he's being a fucking prick, to be honest. But I feel like this is the kind of things that Izuku needs to hear if he wants to be a top hero. And Izuku doesn't need to be spoon-fed, and because one, he's a fucking genius anyway. But I feel like this is something Izuku will learn and he will remember and add more to his development. So that's that part of the fucking chapter. But once Izuku ends up actually getting it, he gets the stamp. Mirio comes in with Bubble Girl, and Sir basically tells Mirio, "Oh, Izuku got the internship." And then Izuku was like, "Internship? How'd I get an internship? I didn't get a stamp." But then Sir says, "I never said that if you didn't get a stamp, I wouldn't allow you into internship. I just said that you wouldn't get the stamp." So I was like, "Whoa, that's a dick move, sir." But yeah, so that was really nice to see that like he took Izuku under his wing for now, and so now the team is Sir, Mirio, Bubble Girl, and Izuku, and they're basically Izuku's now on the internship working for Sir. They go on their first, I don't know, the first job. Was it the first hunt? I don't know. Their first thing together as a group, and Mirio and Izuku are partnered together, and Bubble Girl and Night Owl are partnered together. Before they separate, they basically talk about they've been keeping an eye on Kisaki, basically the guy with the plague mask, the one who went to go visit the League of Villains, and they're saying they're aware of his movements, and recently the movements have been a lot more, but they still don't know exactly where he is, what the motives are, so they're basically trying to figure things out to try and stomp it down before things get too serious. So we get information that we already knew, that Kisaki was a part of Yakuza, rare. So, but fortunately, it was just a small few panels. It wasn't like pages and pages of information. So what was really cool, the plot twist is at the very end, when Mirio and Izuku are walking together, Izuku ends up bumping into this really like the small cute girl. What was her name? Her name was Eri. Now, when she's running, we see that like she's kind of saying, she seems panicky, or seems like she's running away from something. And but when Izuku kind of ends up catching her saying sorry for bumping into you, we then see Kisaki say, "Come on, we have to go." But he doesn't say it in a way of like a menacing, crazy way. He says it in like just a calm kind of way. And at this point, obviously Kisaki doesn't know who Izuku is. Obviously the League of Villains do know who Izuku is, so that would have been different. So now it's kind of like, what's Izuku going to do in this situation? As a hero, considering he literally just got fucking briefed about this guy and about how dangerous this guy is and what this guy is up to, but we don't know what he's up to and why he's up to these things. It's like, will Izuku tell Mirio and then try to fight him off on the spot? Because if that happens, then you're looking at death flags, and obviously not Izuku, but maybe Mirio could be taken out then, because the way they've built up Mirio could be to take him down, and this could really affect Izuku emotionally. But that being said, that's probably like a 15 or 10% chance that happens. I personally think that Izuku's going to try and play it cool and try to like let them go and not at all suspicious, but maybe try to follow him at some point, which is where they could end up finding out where Kisaki's lair is, and eventually start pursuing as a hero instead of just a kind of as a hero instead of doing what they did before, where it was just kind of like just jumping into action and not knowing what the fuck's going on. So I feel like he's going to pass the information on to Mirio. Mirio will pass it on to Bubble Girl and Night Owl, and then that's when their real internship starts. And at the very end, it says this is when the long internship begins. So that was this chapter. Yeah, oh man, I fucking spoke for 14 minutes. Shit. What did you think of this chapter? Are you excited? What was your favourite part? Did you guys see the art style change? I think it was on page 11. I wrote, yeah, art changes on page 11, where it just became kind of sketchy. But at this point, for most of it, it was in Sir Night Owl's mind and thought and what he was thinking about Izuku. But on the last panel, it was kind of like just the chapter. So I was like, oh, but it's still like that. So I don't know whether it was meant to be an effect and then they didn't change it, but who knows. I did like that drawing style. It was just a bit random that it happened. I'm not really sure what it added in total, because I don't know. But once again, I really enjoyed this chapter. I'll give this chapter around an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10, just because things are progressing. We got to see the conclusion of the fight between, well, not fight, but the kind of confrontation and whatnot between Izuku and Sir Night Owl. We got to have a plot progression now that Kisaki and his group are actually around, and we have the new team of Sir, Izuku, Mirio, and Bubble Girl together. So that's them for now. And it's interesting to see this new dynamic and how they're going to work together and all of that. If you enjoyed this review, do give me a thumbs up. Please turn on that notification bell because I make weekly reviews and I wouldn't want you guys to miss it. That's obviously if you enjoy my reviews. I don't want you to just fucking subscribe for the sake of it, but it'd be a lot if you did that. And also leave your thoughts and suggestions and comments and all that good stuff in the comment box down below, and I will see you guys soon. Otaku Chris is talking. Peace.